how proud I am of Pubg Mobile to just be leading the way in mobile
broken again.
Bird's been following us. Does it think we're rabbits?
No, you're more like a bug. A really lazy bug.
Watch out!
Take cover!
We're surrounded!
Isn't that fast? I'll race you. Time to wreak havoc. Let's go! You can join us, little sidekick.
Companion. Let's go!
Hey! Wait for me!
Ini itu sana yang kita nih. Oh, yes, that's it. Okay, you got it right. Let me get your price. Okay. Fantastic.
Everyone, it's Henry here. I am Barcelona.
I'm very excited to join the Pubg Mobile Club Open Force Speed Global Finals.
नागिन कितने शॉट्स पिए नागिन फिर कभी बाएं फिर कभी दाएं नाचे तू जैसे नागिन कहीं तेरा फोन कहीं तेरे शूज थोड़ी गुस्सा थोड़ी कंफ्यूज लगती है प्यारी पर उड़ तेरे व्यूज दिल कर ब्रेक टू ब्रेकिंग न्यूज तेरे प्रिटी फेस पे फंस गया गलती हुई मैं तुझे देख के हंस गया मेरी सिचुएशन पे ना लाफ करो मुझसे दूर रहो मुझे माफ करो
Semalam kita nak
very long time. Then does half a double barrel shotgun, and Hong will be on the scaffolding on top of the rooftop to provide a little bit of advantage, but they are so under looted right now. And I like the disciplined plays coming from Hong here. He's prodding his way through, doesn't want to get headshotted from down below.
Yeah, I think actually talking about the economy here is paramount to discuss, simply because of the fact that so many teams have dropped towards military base because of the pathway of the plane itself. Excuse me. And then we have a northern circle. So these teams towards the coastal line, I mean, even if you're looking towards Kurd Squad or Team Queso, who really have to perform today if they want a chance of catching up to teams like Top Esports or Bigatron, who you can see here on the right side of our screens, they haven't got as much time to loot as Entity Gaming, Soul, Illuminate the Murder, etc. Which means, as you said, low economy means that could pay off really badly later on.
Exactly here, but they have to loot up a little bit quicker here in this stage of the game. But we see Illuminate the Murder, they're going to be heading their way in towards the Rosa vicinity and also towards the Watertown district here. They're going to be looting up, stacking up a little bit more and come out a little bit late here. But Orange Esports Stalker has an M24 going for a couple of stray shots, but is a little bit too far off here. So hoping to get a lucky shot, but unfortunately doesn't get it. But the battle begins once again. Unicorn Gaming, you can see Hong getting tagged up pretty hard here, marked by Penguin from EGC. And I feel like he's in a really tough spot.
Oh, he's going to be fine. He has gone down. Penguin has seen the feet drop and actually has the coverage here of the bush. We can just prone himself, start to wiggle around, try and get out of this really awkward situation he's now found himself in. EGC yesterday as well on the first Orango game eliminated Kurd Squad. Seems like they're trying to go for a deja vu. Ooh, the timing there, just as Bear was starting to reload with his M16. Inside the car, though, other players from Unicorn Gaming, Penguin here with the Scar, trying to see if he can get the shots connected, but they are going to get away with their lives.
Oh, that's going to be a nice disengagement coming from Unicorn Gaming, but at the same time here, they got pushed out of town. They don't exactly have loot. They have to make it into his next phase of circle. I feel bad for these guys here because they are so under-looted right now.
Yeah, I mean, no med kits, they have bandages, not even first aid kits, so to basically rejuvenate here throughout the rest of this map is going to be very, very difficult indeed. But yeah, I mean, you touch upon economy, you touch upon rotations immediately. Seoul, again, seems like they're always in the center here at the start with the circle favouring them always towards Pachinki.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have to worry about looting up as well, because as soon as they finish their loots here in school as well as apartments, they need to figure out a rotation path here, because there's so many paths that they can take. Who do they run into? Do they run into the guys that Illuminate the Murder, passing through Rosa, or do they run towards the guys on Entity who's already in Yasnaya here? And it seems to me they have to figure out the best strategy possible, and considering that it may or may not have the circle ending up towards the northern section of the map, where 70 terrains are pretty much a lot of open fields where you require a lot of long-range fights, or maybe in the south side here where you're going to see a little bit of a prone game towards the outskirts of Yasnaya. So it's hard to gauge where exactly they need to do here. So staying in a position smack middle of the ball is going to help them in terms of the first few phases of the circle.
UD Gank, you can see as soon as it's on the screens, the crowd reacting to that. Unfortunately for Unigank, it feels like their performances have slowly dipped as the tournament has gone on. Maybe they were ramped up and fired up at the start of the event, being the hometown heroes. Ever since day one, they haven't really had that same sort of efficiency.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, they've been trying to get those kind of positionings all the way through placement points to try and secure themselves, maybe potentially into the top 4 here. I had a couple of chat here with Manpower. They did mention as well they were focusing on just trying to represent Malaysia as best as they can. They do not exactly want to fall out rather early here, but at the same time, you mentioned as well, Unicorn Gaming doesn't have loots on Hong, and we have a winner chicken dinner
I would love to know what
forecast.
percentages go into that. Maybe it's to do with where they are in the circle, the loot they have. Love to know more about what's actually the derivatives from that, where they get the information from. But I got to agree, really, Bigatron at the top, 8.6%. You could argue, actually, that percent could be higher. Ooh, one of the teams towards top of the leaderboards, though, is Mega, and maybe they can get some more kill points. Maybe not, actually, as instead, Unicorn Gaming, they just whip it round. Ooh, they may actually be hunted here, though. Mega are going to be coming in hot pursuit, it seems. They're going to be splitting up as well into 4 different buggies.
I really feel bad here from Unicorn Gaming there, because right now they've not had a time to actually breathe here. They've been getting engagements after engagements. They haven't exactly looped up their utilities here, and I'm not too sure where can they go to actually loot up, considering that it's already 7 minutes a game, and you can see a lot of teams are already setting up roadblocks here. In this case, Mega Conqueror being one of the first obstacles to block the East Bridge here.
Seoul have gone towards north of Roshok, and I actually like this, Terence. They have the scouting ability towards the 3 bridges that cover the middle of the circle currently towards Yasnaya, Roshok, all the way over to the northern part of Ruins. So they have so much information on rotations. They're in the center of the circle. They have information. I actually like this from Seoul.
I definitely agree as well. Like, it's great for cutting out the Yasnaya bridge as well as rotations coming from the south side here. But now we have a picture of the map. You can see teams are slowly making their way in. Unicorn Gaming will take a pit stop into the shelter vicinity here to loot up a little bit more. Top Esports all the way in Georgia, still potentially maybe tanking up the circle. Team Queso taking the western highway off passing towards the quarry. EGC tanking the circle a little bit. Same goes for ARW.
Oh, Kurt Squad. Quite a kerfuffle here with the likes of Unique. Unique as well, 7th on the leaderboard, or towards the top 6 at least. So they're going to be fighting to try and get higher up that leaderboard, because it literally is doubling their prize pool distribution each point that they do get. And we always touch upon the fact that it's so close between these top, well, I say top 5, top 6 teams, really just below Bigatron.
Yeah, I like how all these teams are just prioritizing hotspots here. Kurt Squad is doing exactly that, similar to what Seoul is doing here, to try and catch rotations into an intersection here, hoping to get a couple lucky kills here. Kurt Squad doing exactly that, hoping to cut the teams coming from Georgia or maybe from the Ruins rotation here. In this case, they might be successful if they stay long enough here, because Queso, Top Esports, and Orange Esports is going to be maybe passing through here. But look at this from the map itself. Kim Queso, they take the long road out here. They're passing towards the Georgeport Bridge, coming up north, maybe exiting towards the outskirts of shooting range.
Yeah, this is really smart. There's so much empty vacancy towards shooting range in the open fields there. And I think you always touch upon it as well whenever we commentate a angle and the circle does go north. You always say, get to the high hills of shooting range, because that's all you really have.
Yes, definitely. And not to mention as well, you either play that, scout out for information, or try to find the best possible place to work with here. In this case, because they're on the move here, and they timed it with the circle, it makes it a fantastic time to actually push as soon as the circle moves in. And it seems to me, I might be right early, it is going to be ending potentially outskirts of Yasnaya. This is where things are going to get a little bit tough, because all the intersections are gatekept by teams from Seoul, from RRQ, from Illuminate, from C9, and I don't know, man. This is going to be a rough battle for all these teams coming from the northwest section.
Yeah, EGC is still a military island as well. Oh my goodness, how the hell are they going to get inside the circle without being blocked off by someone? But yeah, I mean, that position from Seoul being so strong, they can actually blockade 1, 2, 3, 4 different teams as they rotate from shooting range or south from Severny. But yeah, we always mention as well, if it's Seoul going towards school and apartments, it's always the other team from South Asia, which is Entity from India, who go towards Yasnaya. And this time, it's actually worked out in their favor. Martin here from Illuminate the Murder, trying to decapitate people here with the Car 98. Can't quite land the shots though, as now Illuminate the Murder have more opposition on their agenda. Seoul trying to rotate away from the hills here of Rosnok. They're not actually going to be making a blockade, instead going to rotate early.
Yeah, prioritizing the placements here is going to be the decision made by them here. But Illuminate the Murder, it seems to be they're going to be setting up roadblocks as well. You can see Armjohn scouting out movements from the outskirts of Yasnaya Bridge. And because of that, he knows there's at least 2 teams who just walk past them heading towards the east side of this circle. And it seems to me they want to still head towards this compound, hoping to get a couple more lucky kills, or maybe even gatekeep any teams coming from the school vicinity. But Yudu Gang now, they are going to be making their move. Seems to me, taking the northern approach, passing towards the Stauber Mountains.
EGC are still inside military base. This is going to be a very awkward affair for them. It feels like all the teams that dropped towards military base have struggled. Kurt Squad, EGC, Unicorn Gaming especially, they've had a very hard time so far, but they now found themselves inside the center of the circle. But they're under such low economy.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you're contesting each other, it actually damages each other. It's no longer mutually beneficial. But because of that, they're kind of like parasiting on each other in terms of economy and in terms of timing. So that's going to be unfortunate here. If they shared it and let EGC or maybe even ARG all by themselves, things would be a little bit different for them. But that's the thing, right? If you hurt each other, you're hurting everyone together.
Yeah, exactly. Just hemorrhaging your bullets, hemorrhaging your supplies, grenades, utility, first aid, bandages, you name it, which are not really the most ideal situation. But of course, kill points are paramount in getting those placement points. It's not all about the chicken dinner, although these teams still have an incentive to perform because of the fact you get $5,000 per team if you do win.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time as well, we see a lot of teams here after the first phase circle has ended, now coming to the second phase, the circle. We saw a couple of great shifts heading to the south here, so it's still pretty saturated among all these teams here, but Illuminate the Murder will still remain on this terrain here, trying to play those long-range scouts here. They got a couple of information to work with, but it seems to be they may be making the next move right after this circle. Soul right here, I like this compound being secured by Soul. Like, it has perfect vision of anyone who tries to pro their way or maybe even snake towards the potato fields of Yasnaya.
Oh, look at it again. It's the rivalry here from Southeast Asia. Pons has been spotted out here by the players from Bigatron. I'm not sure if Mega actually realized exactly the location, situated currently by BTR. Right now, they are both towards south, or even just by Shelter, just north of Milta. So they are on the edge, I would say, of the circle. We are going to be seeing a new circle as well on our screens very shortly, Terrence.
Oh, wow. Seems to be going to be pushing the guys on our RQ. They have the apartments vicinity, and that's going to be a great start for them. They can zone everyone out. But if anyone crashes towards the compounds or the apartment here, RQ is in some tough spot just because it's so easy to push in. But Illuminate, they are going to be making their moves as well. They're going to be cutting a couple roadblocks here. Shots are being fired left, right, front, and center. They see the guys from Cloud9. Will they connect the dot? Unfortunately, doesn't tag them out, but a little bit of eco damage here going the way of C9. And it might explode here. They have to make a pit stop now.
Oh, they're going to have to as well. There's another team just in front of them which could actually finish off the job that Illuminate did start. Oh, speaking of starts, look at this one.
Oh, no.
Off the races are Soul and Kurt Squad. Going to be annihilated here by Illuminate the Murderers. They're going to be caught in the open. Entity as well going to be rotating on motorcycles as maybe they ran out of vehicles to hop into. Kitsune goes down, Stalker goes down as well, but actually it's all going to be action here towards the apartments next to school, as maybe Malta might be schooled yet again as, oh boy, gets the first blood. Not sure who was against.
Oh,
we'll find out shortly as Clash God goes into the open here, but he's got teams in front of him and behind him.
Smart decision from RQ to bail out of apartments, head to school here, but you can see a good cluster clumping out of school, the apartments vicinity, because there's just so many angles. And at the same time, BTR, they caught in the southeast corner here against the fight with all rejection. Gaming, they've got one knock on Ryzen, but I think they can play this slow because they're still inside the next phase of the circle.
Let's see, then Unicorn Gaming, they've had such a slow start, maybe they can try and fight back, but it seems extremely unlikely, as right now the second title contenders, Top Esports, claiming yet more kill points here as they're making a mockery of Unicorn Gaming. That grenade as well, looks like it may finish off the job versus Coco, but will he go pop? No, he won't. He's going to be fine for now. I say for now, 40% HP. He has got the medkits to utilize. The problem is, though, Top Esports going to be surrounding him. Ryan as well is about to be finished off as well, Terrence.
This is going to be a tough one here from Unicorn Gaming here, just because they don't have not utilities here. Coco all by himself. Can he clutch his match against Top Esports? Slowly but surely you can see Top Esports, they're moving their way, but no! Unicorn Gaming, they got sniped from ARW from up top.
Yeah, that's going to be the kill still taken away from Top Esports, making it even harder to get that lead. I think it was, what, 14, 15 points aggregate in terms of an advantage they need over Bigatron every game, and it's points like that that are going to make that even more difficult to secure. However, there's still 15 teams remaining, so if Bigatron go out early, there is a chance for Top Esports, and also Team Queso. EGC here joining in. They're actually trying to third party the action we saw between Bigatron and towards Mega. Rodfier, they're knocking down Satan as they can try and get a vantage point here onto a few more of the players from EGC. Penguin, he's on thin ice.
Yeah, definitely here. He's going to try and pick himself out and open here, trying to bait a couple movements from EGC, but EGC seems to be their focus is on saving up Satan and not going for the push. But Online24 from the sides goes for the shot. Rodfier with the assist right there.
Yeah, perfect positioning here for the players from Mega. They have the flank as well from Online24. Bear in the open. Ooh, he's going to survive on 1 HP and actually finishes off Pons as well. One of the highest fragging players from Mega, so that's going to be detrimental going into the latter stages of this game. Penguin is eventually taken down there by the grenade of Online24. After the grave, Bear is knocked down as well. Look at this though, Online24 surviving with 1 HP. Heals up with a medkit now, coming even higher to higher ground. Going to be catching Satan off guard as well as he's finishing him off with the M4. Oh, this is near perfect. This is going to be one player remaining as Beside, but he's so far away. And now Online24 has to get in the vehicle, try and revive Rodfier, or may go for the run over kill to secure the extra points.
But at the same time, Beside was right beside Rodfier, and because of that, Online24 is going to be a 1v1 situation between Mega Conqueror and EGC. And Mega Conqueror, they are in the top 4 placement in terms of leaderboard here. They cannot afford to die this early. They need to win this fight. But Beside out and open here, he wants to finish on Rodfier. Here comes the spray bullets here, but he's 1 HP.
He's so close. Let's see if he can connect it. I think he has. I'm not sure. He has done indeed. EGC are out in the 15th. Rodfier wasn't killed as well. He managed to keep his player, his teammate, inside this game. But inside apartments this time, though, Terrence, it's going to be 3 teams. Entity. Oh, 4 teams, excuse me. Team Queso, Entity, Soul, and Kurd Squad.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here for them to disengage. I like how Queso parked their car towards the sides of the apartments here. So in case they have an exit strategy, they can bail out here. But they need to be very careful because it's out and open here. Teams like Illuminate can just destroy all the vehicles and they will be stuck stranded beside each other. And they are forced to go head-to-head against each other and just die a valiant death later on. However, ARW.
Yeah. ARW, All Rejection Gaming, trying to reject the chances of Top Esports overcoming Bigatron, as he actually didn't finish off the kill onto Eagle. He has managed to heal up here using his first aid kit to his advantage. And speaking of vantage points, look at the high ground here that ARW have.
Oh, they have the high ground, but at the same time, they're so split up. There's so many angles to mark. They are not too sure which angle they should be focusing on, just because there's still so many teams unencountered for here. But starting off here, Yudu Gang will start to make their move here as they see the boys from Unique.
Yeah, so many players going to be caught in the open here, so the M4 is reloaded, and it's going to be used up against Unique. Oh, 2 of the players as well onto low HP, but they are going to get away, it seems, over the hill. But number 4, a few of the players from Mega are struggling to rotate here inside the circle as it does end towards school. Yudu Gang still survive. They have 2 kills currently so far in this matchup, and even as Unique rotate away safely from Yudu Gang, they're now going to be rotating into All Rejection Gaming, who are trying to finish off the job, but they can't connect the shots.
Look at all these roadblocks here. Every single team is just forcing everybody out, and BTR also making this combo for themselves. Unique, they haven't found their spot in this next phase of circle. They take so much damage here because BTR Riser going for the shots. Yasha almost get clipped off there. Couple of tags going in, but that should be all coming from BTR.
Yeah, BTR as well. 2 kills already, playing it safe. All they have to do is stay alive really to the top 4, top 5, and they've got a winner chicken dinner, not inside the game, but inside the whole entire year and this whole event. So for them, it's more about playing it safe.
At the same time here, Yudu Gang, it seems to me they're going to be making their way, crashing into the guys from school here. RRQ, Athena is going to be challenging him here, but off the kill feed, BTR, they kill off Unique.
They do. Yudu Gang as well, maybe going to be struggling inside the swimming pool. As players from RRQ going to be spotting out Yudu Gang inside the open. They're trying to get inside the compound here and use it into the late game. 14 teams still alive as we are about 20 minutes into this matchup. Oh, he's going to be fine. He will be fine, but he's not going to be fine for long because there's a flank coming right now from RRQ, I believe. And here it is, G69. Trying as smart, yeah, G9, excuse me. G9, trying to see if he can finish off the job, which he has done so far. Players going to be dropping here. 2 of them actually down. It's Geek and Drax. Just going to be Manpeng and then Ice Shots, who are alive. Smoke coming out for Drax, trying to revive him, but there's the drop down coming as well as Senior takes him to the grave. Manpeng is dead. It's all down to shots now before it seems like Yudu Gang are going to go out in 13th, and yes, they are. Goodbye to you.
Look at this, RRQ, Tina, they've got 7 kills here. Because of that, taking out Yudu gang, they've secured themselves even more kills. But the circle favoring the guys in the apartments here. This is where the apartment warfare comes in. Current squad on the second floor, top east bottom side here. They're thinking about pushing this fight here. ARW also catching on this team fight. So they're on top of the rooftop here. How can they play this down? Clutch got on the rooftop as well.
Yeah, the thing about Current squad is their rotations that have been poor. Their actual gun skill is good, so maybe they can use that to good use here inside close proximity inside the apartments. But as you said before, there's more teams squad inside apartments, Soul being one of them. As Ari, Kraken, Baby just wait on top of the apartments here. They're not playing in positions where they can help each other. They're just playing one-for-ones. As Soul coming down the apartments now, trying to fight back all rejection gaming. But in the background of all of this, Bigatron now going to be in a bit of a kerfuffle here as Unique has spotted them out in the open.
Yeah, definitely here. Kutsune, they lost 2 members to BTR. They want revenge. They want to fight them off. But ARW gets taken out from this guys from Seoul here. As you can see, they're trying to go head-to-head. They are trying to clear out the apartments area as soon as they can. But whereas the guys from BTR, they're trying to creep their way into the zone. But unfortunately, they've lost Zuxi. Riser getting tagged up as well as Eagle from top esports all the way from apartments here.
This is so
joins
important.
the fight.
This is so important, though, top esports, if they get the kill points, not just to get the points in terms of kills, but also to take out and eliminate Bigatron. That's going to be pivotal if they want a chance of overcoming the current big dogs of day 1 and 2, but there's still a whole day yet to play. 6 more games and 6 more chances here. As Bigatron stuck in a really awkward position here. The zones really did not favour them. And right now, neither do their chances. It's going to be Orange Esports, it's Unique as well, and top esports all firing down. Oh, Luxy could be finished off as well. He is headshot McCoy, the new player alive, 40% HP. Yeah, this might be it here for Bigatron. This might be the worst performance they've had so far in this whole entire event.
My goodness here, BTR did not expect so many angles marked at them here. The guys from Apartment, the guys from Orange Esports, and towards the Minion Shack here, and also Top Esports joining the fight from everywhere. And this is insane. And it's a smart call here coming from all these teams in Apartments here. There's no point contesting each other in Apartments here. Why not share the Apartments, take the temporary ceasefire, focus on outside, rack up some kill points, and then focus on rotating the circle. It seems to me it's going to be the open fields of this area here. Oh no, Orange Esports having the greatest time. Same goes for C9, but C9 will be making their first move here to secure himself. That's Mini Shack.
Problem for C9 is they've had so many mediocre results. They always die in their rotations. They've already lost a player early as well for C9. They can't afford yet more poor performances. Actually, excuse me, there are 4 players alive, so I think one of them was down earlier on, but wasn't converted into the kill. So they have a better chance here than I actually did expect. But let's see, how good is the chance going to be from Kurt Squad? Pins the grenade, tries to see if he can ricochet off of the handle of the door. Doesn't really work out for him. I believe that was that Unique that just went out 11th?
Yeah, but at the same time, you can see, you know, they are getting desperate from all these teams because why? The circle is going to be closing in. It's going to force everybody out of Apartments. You can see Curse Squad making their pre-fires here. They need to make a move now. I'm not sure how they're going to survive this, but Illuminate the Murder on the northwest section here, they heard all these gunshots. They want a piece of all these kills coming out of this apartment district.
Yeah, taking a look as well at who is alive. 1 player alive for Bigatron, 1 player alive for Mega. Oh, look at this though from Entity. They're going to be crushed on upon from Team Queso. Jonathan trying his hardest here to get back the trade kills for his team, but I believe he's down to his lonesome. Yes, he is. 2 of the players from Entity were finished off. Kurt Squad as well going to be struggling versus Mega on line 24 with the first kill onto Kurt Squad. And Soul going to be joining the fray inside this apartment. So now we have Top Esports, Soul and Kurt Squad all inside the same apartment.
Yeah, they have to make a move right now because the circle is going to push them up. On line 24, his last man standing from Mega Conqueror. He might be playing the healing game outside here because he knows there's just so many teams up in front of him. Illuminate, they're hugging this shelter here. They are going to be starting their smoke retreat here before they actually rotate in, but they know they are getting pinned from the guys from C9 inside this zone.
Oh, McBoy dies. That's going to be Bigatron out in 9th. This is really good for Illuminate the Murder because Unique out early, Entity are out early. This is brilliant. They can actually rise up the ranks. And we said before how close it is between the bottom and mid tier of the table. It's going to be really important for them. But Soul, oh, here they come, crashing down into the compound from Orange Esports to see if they can make it work. One of the players down immediately is mortal headshot by Fire. And here come the hit by Spray. It's not working out for the Viper's down as well. This is catastrophic for Soul. More players go down. That's going to be it. I think there's only 1 player remaining for Soul. Mega out in 8th. Soul down to 1 player. Illuminate down to 1 player. Kurt Squad down to 2.
At least they made a try here from Team Soul. This is what I'm talking about, right? Everybody forced out. They have no choice. But Top Esports falls up 7. But Clutch got on top of the roof here. Gets all the kills. But he's going to die to the zone. He's done his job. The damage has been done from Team Soul. Secures good placement. They will finish at 5th place.
Illuminate as well go out. I believe that was Cloud9. Yes, it was. Pyra finishing off the job. Top Esports that as well. What a surprise this is. So, C9, Team Queso. Oh my god, Team Queso are still alive in this one. This could be it.
Yeah.
This could be them taking over Top Esports for that 2nd position. Currently world-renowned for being the most improved team so far this year, and for good reason. This is the crescendo of the online season, the regional finals, everything they put into all comes down to this.
Yes, that not to mention Orange Esports is also in the picture as well. They are the closest to the next phase of Circle, but there's not much cover to work with here. Cars are being exploded here, but Queso, they're going to be hugging the walls here. We have Ayala providing information, having Mystic to try and snake their way through. But C9, they know these movements are coming from Queso. They want to gatekeep here, and seems to me Orange Esports might sit this one out before they engage them.
Look at that forecast as well for the chicken dinner. It's so equal. The reason being is all 3 players are alive for the teams, but it's all about positioning, and it's all about who gets that next circle phase in their favor. I believe, for my money, Orange Esports have the advantage, but we know that things can be turned on their head immediately in PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, definitely here, and they are at the slow edge of the circle, but the Hurricane shots coming from C9 immediately. They send Perkises to mark towards the guys from Orange Esports, but it seems to me they want to fight on Queso. You can see setups being set up from Queso here to provide a little bit of barricade, using those perfect usage of all those smokes, and seems to me they need to take a chill pill coming from Queso. Wait for Orange Esports to close out the circle before engaging this fight. And C9, they're trying to pick through the cracks of the smokes.
Yeah, they have the advantage as well. They can peer over and see the players that are currently prone inside the grass. Axel, though, using the rock to his advantage. Orange Esports is going to be staying put here and waiting for the 2 teams to fight each other off as Mystic is down, and this positioning here is so difficult for Team Queso to work with, just for the fact that because C9 have the high ground, they can just shoot down upon them. And look at this as well. Beowulf going down as a 1-for-1 exchange so far. 2 players standing right now for C9, 2 players standing for Team Queso. It's just 1 now. Mystic's dead. Axel as well taken down. Team Queso are out in 3rd. More players dying as well for Cloud9. It's all down to this. Orange Esports versus C9. Pyra going to be the lone wolf here from North America. Let's see what he can do. 22 bullets left in the chamber. It's going to be a 1 versus 3. I don't think this is going to be feasible here. Trying to see if he can go for the energy drink, but he hasn't got time. He's going to go down shortly, of course. Pubg trying to see if he can shoot through the smoke. The player as well, I believe it's going to be Leon being revived by fire. And yes, it is! Damage coming up, but he's down! There's actually a chance here for Pyra! Oh my god, has to go for the reload here. The 22 bullets out of the chamber nearly immediately, as this could be the best play we've seen so far in the tournament. Leon and Fire, they're going to be healing up, taking their energy drinks. They don't want to take a chance, they don't want to risk it! And that's it! Orange Esports take it, nearly there from Pyra. Valiant effort, but it all goes in favour. The chicken dinner here, once again, for Orange Esports.
Yeah, first ever chicken dinner, and nice usage and understanding of the turn rate. That rock really saved them in a tough spot from the wrath of Pyra. I feel so bad for C9. That was the moment to get the chicken dinner, but it seems to me Orange Esports CG will be the victors. My, oh my, Alex. That was a crazy game. Who would have thought so many teams heading towards apartments area and the circle ending towards outskirts of apartments?
Yeah, it seems that we get so lucky with our matches here, Terrence, where the games are just so good. Obviously, we are at the global finals. And this is also, as we said before, the culmination. This is where the teams really have to start leveling up here if they want a chance of the lion's share of $500,000. And yeah, Mega, Bigatron as well going out early, which gives so much space for these teams towards that 6th to 2nd position to really rise the ranks.
Yeah, we also saw RRQ Athena stepping up this game here with 7 kills at this stage of the game. And as the game progressed, we saw a lot of high-level decisions being made by all these teams, especially towards the direction of BTR, because they have so many angles pinned to them. There was nothing much BTR could have done in those kinds of situations.
This play as well from Sol, I mean, they left the top squad alone as well, so it's already going to be a 3 versus 3, and you're attacking a compound, which isn't even in your favor.
Yeah, it was very smart of them. They knew that it was very risky to have all 4. They wanted those placements here, but leaving Clutch God behind to play the healing game, get a couple of kill points from the apartment district was definitely smart here. However, let's take a look at what Jason has to say about this game.
Well, I think we have a lot to say about that game on the desk here. A couple of teams in particular really stood out for us, but let's start off by talking about Orange Esports, able to finally get their chicken dinner. We did see them start to come alive in the final day of prelims, but will this be enough to propel them up the standings?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, fellas, listen, you remember prelims, back-to-back chicken dinner wins from Orange Esports. Is today their day? Is it enough time for them to make the comeback? I mean, I believe they're way down there at the bottom. Great performance there. They also got fed a couple kills. I don't know what Seoul was doing. They had 3 members in a UAS just kind of crashed those yellows over there, just kind of feeding them. So, hey, this is what they needed. Hopefully this is the confidence boost that Orange needs to show up on the final day.
And as you mentioned, in the prelims, they were able to go ahead and get back-to-back chicken dinners. They could do it here. I mean, they got honestly nothing to lose. And it could be... I think now at least they have $5,000 guaranteed no matter what. Even if they end up last, as we're seeing right there, this scoreboard in Cloud9, one of my top picks for this game, getting second place. What a play by them, being able to get 8 kills again.
Doing a great job. I mean, they were playing edge for the most part of the end game. Very smart move, especially with all those squads that are kind of huddled up in the apartment school area. We had Seoul, Top Esports, Kurd Squad, Team Queso, and Entity Gaming. All in apartments. It was just a mosh pit of mayhem. And then, of course, we all saw Bigatron, you know, rolling down the hill, getting taken out early on.
So one thing I want you guys to keep your eye on here is the points that Team Queso, Top Esports, Mega Esports did get. Because to throw it back to what we said before, it's all about those profits over Bigatron. We need to see Top Esports maintain around 14 points per game profit, Team Queso about 15, Mega about 16, and we're going to find out if they're going to be able to do that because they're all on that chase for that first place.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Top Esports needs to get 14 more points than whatever Bigatron gets. And at the moment, they weren't even able to get 14 points alone. So Bigatron is going to be able to go ahead and extend that lead. That's why they were just so confident going into this first game, something that we mentioned they did yesterday in the last game. Ooh. And we saw just a huge, and I mean a huge split by Bigatron, something that I don't think I've seen before here from them in the PMCO. Landing very spread out.
So that's the thing, right? We want to see what they do. Final game of the day yesterday, they walked into the game, you know, pretty much making their mark, splitting up, doing whatever they wanted to pick up kills. Did we see kind of the same thing yet again out of them here, Mustache Dave?
I mean, it's game number 1. Maybe they're getting warmed up. I'm not sure if they had any opportunity to play the scrims today. Hopefully, they're not coming into today's matches with their guard let down because of all of the points that they do have in that lead. Because, like we're mentioning, Top Esports, they're on the hunt. They are ready. They are confident that they can take over that first place spot. I know a lot of people out there are kind of skeptical of that. I mean, I am as well. But if Bigatron continues to have poor performances, it could happen.
Yeah, it could. In Bigatron, I think they're going to go ahead and start looking at the moment just for personal records, right? We mentioned how Luxy and Soxy were tied for kills. I believe it was 27 apiece. I'm pretty sure they're going to want to break that mark of 100 kills in the tournament, and they could do it if they go ahead and continue to be aggressive. Now, the difference that I want to go ahead and see from them, are they going to be aggressive being on a 2-2 split, or are they going to be aggressive as a team, which is something that we're used to seeing from them and not what we saw in the last game.
Also, I mean, hey, you got to keep wearing that jersey, my man. Cloud9, I mean, they're doing pretty good. 5th place so far. This previous game, they had 3 alive at the end. They had the hill high ground advantage. You know, it was a 2-1 split. Pyra almost winning that game.
Yeah, he was almost winning it, and that's something to mention, right? They also started hot yesterday. Can they continue that momentum? It's something that we're not used to seeing from them, but I would love to be able to see that kind of stuff from them because they could maybe get to 2nd place. If Top Esports doesn't have the performances we expect, Team Queso or Mega Esports, Cloud9 could go ahead and push up for that 2nd place.
The funny thing is to me looking at this, if you're Bigatron, you don't have to go full 100% every single match, right? You're that far in the lead. You set yourself up for that in day 3. If you're the 2nd through 6th place team, you cannot have a bad game because every time you don't hit that quota of what you need of points more than Bigatron, that means that quota is going to go up. You're going to need even more points in the next game and even more points in the game after that. And that's going to snowball against you, and that lead that you're trying to chase is just going to run away.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're Bigatron, no, you don't have to go full out, but you want to.
Of course.
You want to set the lead. You want to set the precedent. Because remember, going on into next year, we're going into the leagues. They want to be the best team in the world. They want everybody to kind of study their strategies and follow in their footsteps. So this is the stage to prove that.
and they are doing just that, right? We're being able to see just the dominance performance from them. Now, Bigatron being able to extend that lead every single game, something that I'm going to be looking forward to is how the other teams are going to adjust, because we're going to start seeing them being just way more aggressive, especially seeing that lead just slip right out of their fingers. They need to start getting more kills. They need to start maybe hot dropping. They need to start doing things that they might not be used to. And how is that going to turn into play?
It's so tricky, right? Because if you're that team that drops on them and you lose that fight, you might have just dropped down the rankings. You might have just solidified your spot out of reach in first place. But history always remembers the glory, always remembers the bold plays, and I want to see some teams do that.
Yeah, and talking about bold plays, if you guys can recall yesterday when I was speaking to Bigatron, one team here that they are kind of fearful of is Unicorn Gaming, because whenever they're on scrims, they verse each other 4v4 straight up on Erangel. They always lose. I want to see Unicorn Gaming make those big plays, take out Bigatron, make a name for themselves.
And this right here is something that I'm going to be looking at, and I suggest everybody at home is looking at as well. The kills leaderboard. We got Luxy with 29 kills, and we got Suxy with 28. Trust me, they're brothers. They have a rivalry, whether they want to go ahead and admit it or not, and they want to go ahead and come out of this tournament as the top fragger. So I wouldn't be surprised if between them, we're going to start seeing some crazy stuff, especially if that lead starts extending even more.
And look at Ernie, by the way. I just want to give a little bit of light to RRQ. I know you mentioned before, Seven, that they're a little bit unhappy, or very unhappy with the performance so far, a little bit down on themselves today. But we are seeing a couple of individuals start to pick up some kills. They had a couple of successful games yesterday. And honestly, for them, I feel like they're just trying to fight to up their earnings from this game.
Yeah, and at this point, right, is just trying to save face in some kind of way, because they were the favorite ones, I believe, to come in here to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And in a way, they have been champions before. Back in 2018, the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge, they won that. And they put a good performance in Berlin as well. So the performance that we're seeing here from them is not something we expect. Ernie, at least he's starting to pick it up. Hopefully the rest of his team is able to pick it up as well. And they're at least able to challenge for that top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Ernie definitely picking up the slack for RRQ. This previous game, we did see Udu Gang kind of pushed onto him, and they had a nice flank. They sent 69 around the school. They got the flank. They took down 3 members. D2E also going on the opposite approach of the flank. So I feel like RRQ, they're definitely turning on here. The thing is, it's too late, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely too late. But, I mean, for the top 3, it might not be too late.
I think you said something perfect, though. They're trying to kind of save face here, right? Yep. They were the team that was already qualified through to the global finals. They didn't have to play a prelims. And now 2 teams that had to come through prelims from the same region from Southeast Asia are ahead of them.
Yeah.
Obviously trying to fight for their own pride, trying to fight for the pride of the team. It's a rough place for them to be in, but maybe we'll see a little bit of life out of them today.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the storylines that we're following, right? Those teams that did qualify into the prelims before this, are they warmed up? Are they ready to go? Are they hungry for the win here? Did those teams that got the direct invite, are they kind of relaxed? Are they kind of chill?
Yeah.
Looking at the stats right now and the leaderboard, it seems like that's the case.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I got a chance to go ahead and do an interview with RQ Athena, which you can watch at the Some Worlds Gaming on YouTube. It's now live. They were so confident that they were going to go ahead and do good in this tournament. And every single time I saw them during our interview, they were just in the game, no matter what. We would say, okay, now we have to shoot. They would put their phones away. And then as soon as we stopped shooting, back on the game, whether it was training ground, TDM. So I'm very surprised to go ahead and kind of see the performance that they're showing here. Maybe it's something to do with team chemistry. We can only just start assuming, but whatever it is, I hope they go ahead and at least try to make a push for top 3.
I mean, with that said, practicing in TDM, I'm sure their close range combat is phenomenal, right? They're just grinders in that aspect. But before the finals, they only had 9 matches of scrims. So maybe that's what's hurting them, that's what's holding them back. They weren't prepared for the other teams in the lobby here.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, it comes down to the point where, do you want to go ahead and come into the tournament on the prelims first? Or do you want to get a straight invite to it, right? Yeah. Because if you do get to the prelims, we were mentioning, you get to warm up. Yeah. You get 18 games in.
Downside is, though, you could lose in the prelims and not even make it to global finals. But that's going to close out match 11 from us here on the desk. We're going to head to John Allen now to do his patented circle breakdown over at the Telestrator.
Thank you very much to the guys over on the desk. Of course, are going to be breaking down some of the circles. We're going to be looking at a strategy employed by one of the teams, specifically the team from North America. Cloud9 currently sat on the eastern flank here. What they did was play the hard edge. A lot of teams were sent very, very central early on, and you can see that they are all grouped up around school and around apartments. There is a lot of dead ground in this sort of area. It's so difficult to cross. I like to call it Headshot Valley. It's really, really tricky to try and get out of. So a lot of teams opted instead from the fact that they had to push in from the eastern side. All of them opted to not try and breach into that ground. Now, Cloud9, they stopped a little bit short. They played it on to the edge. And as you can see, as teams head center, they keep to the edge. They keep sticking to their guns. Excellent calls coming out from their IGL Beowulf to make sure that they are kept in check and make sure that they have the position they want. You can see everyone sort of thinking about moving central. Orange even moving in. You can see there, obviously, it did pay off well for them in the end. They move into a compound down a little bit central, so nice job them. But you can see Cloud9, they're still waiting. They're still biding their time. Finally, when the circle starts to close, they move to the compound that was occupied by Orange previously. Excellent information gathering, excellent positioning. As they continue to move forwards, they headed and stayed all the way until they got that hard shift to go all the way towards them. And then, and only then, we just pop back a little bit, you can see, do they start to go for the roll straight into the center. As soon as it heads in, you can see Pyra mount up, and they just go for this tiny little shack in the middle that afforded them such strength moving into the final circles. It was such an unfortunate firefight at the end that saw them not quite able to close out the game, but it was phenomenal to say the least, and I'm really impressed with the discipline that Cloud9 showed into that one. So that's going to be it for the circle breakdown. We're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we're going to have the match number 2 of the day. Make sure you don't go anywhere.